Hello and welcome back with me, Admiral, joining me back on Star Trek Fleet Command. What we're going to go through today is a few little. I can't actually get that many today. Um, we're just going to go through the event store and see what officers that I personally think um, you should pick up if you haven't got them, or what I think is sort of one of the best officer choices. We'll run a few the stats. We might go into more detail in another video on specific officers that I think you should pick up. So we'll start on the left. We obviously have 9 or 10. So you get the two sort of the weaker two. You've got 9 or 10. And then at the other end of the scale, I don't know why it's all the way down here, but then you've got 8 to 10 as well. So they have very, very similar abilities in terms of what they offer. So their abilities, if you go on them, their abilities are -10 to opponent's Borg critical chance. It's more to do with against Borg style vessels and stuff. And then the secondary ability, which is where you're really going to use it. You're not really going to use it in that prime ability unless you don't have it. One of the officers will come on to in a second. But in the secondary ability, you get 45% to defenses of all officers on the ship, which is really good. And then if you go to 8 to 10, he has a very similar ability, and his is 45 to attack. So straight away you get 45 for defense, 45 to attack. So if you don't have them already, which you probably will, then I suggest you pick them up because they are okay officers and they're quite cheap. So moving on, we'll move on to 1 of 10. So 1 of 10 is your mining style officer. So he's ignoring the first one, 5% damage mitigation to shields. That's not really why you're going to get him. You're going to get him for this secondary ability of the bodyguard, which is a plus 30% to the protection of cargo. Protected cargo on the ship, so that adds obviously quite a lot of protected cargo to whatever vessel you then end up putting them on. So it can be quite handy if you don't want your miners to be stolen from or anything like that. Again, he's not that expensive. He's more expensive in terms of 9 to 10 and 8 to 10 because he's a rare officer. So they're your uncommons. Then you go on to the rares, which is 1 and 7. And this is where it starts to become a little bit more. You definitely want these officers now. So 7 to 10, you definitely want 7 to 10. If you're going to go into any Borg or anything like that, you definitely want 7 to 10. The reason is you get 20% chance of adding 2 shots to each weapon when fighting Borg. That is absolutely amazing. Once you then synergy with the other couple of Borg officers that you should have, probably the uncommons, then that is really, really useful. And then the secondary ability adds off the trio. So you're not only getting 45% for the defense and 45% for the attack off the 8 and 9 or 10, you're then also going to get him with a plus 60 to the health of all officers on the ship, which is quite significant. And like I say, once you synergy them, that does go up as well. So you definitely want to get 7 to 10. He's a really, really good officer to have, especially against obviously Borg probes and possibly the upcoming Borg cubes and stuff like that. So very good to have if you don't have him already. And again, he's not ridiculously expensive. Then you come on to your really elite epic officers. So you got 2 different types. You got 5 or 10, which is obviously your jailer style character. As you can see, I'm nowhere near even potentially getting it. I'm still like 90 away. But she's got really good abilities in terms of you got the weaponry is in irrelevant. Weaponry is irrelevant. Get that word out, bloody hell. So that's 200% of the crew's health bonus to shield, depletion, armor, and dodge. So that is a hell of a good synergy, or that's a very good primary thing to have. And then she adds as a secondary, you will be assimilate. Sorry about that. The door was going. Probably try and I might not cut it out because it was only a few seconds. But your secondary, you have assimilated 20% to resources dropped by hostiles, which again is not too bad if you're hunting obviously a lot of hostiles. And then the last one, which is where I think your money should sort of go. If you do obviously collect them, you should get these. I've been putting a lot into them. I still have a fair ways to go as well though, but I've been putting a lot into them. I've gained about 45, I think it's about 40 shards. Actually, yeah, about 40 shards over the current event so far. But yeah, this is the officer that you definitely want, is 10 of 10. So if you click on him, so not only does he give you a plus 50% to the par steel, titanium and lithium mining speed if you have him obviously in the slot. I personally wouldn't have him in the primary slot because I personally wouldn't be mining them 3 types of resources. However, I definitely want him for the secondary, which is then triple mining collective, which is the plus 80% to the mining speed, which is really, really good, and it does add significant mining speed. I can't show you because I don't have him, but once we do have all these officers and we do unlock them, I will do specific videos on these officers so that then you can obviously see the benefits and bonuses yourself. But yeah, that's what my recommendations are. Obviously, if you're going to go for the crass, which you can go for crass, I'm just doing missions in the background, so you can go for crass. Obviously you can do these, you can get some obviously the packs, and then you can get this, which obviously then unlocks the 6 of 10, which is obviously, as we know, is crass. And his abilities, we are the Borg, 20% of defense removed from the opponent's ship, when, that's a typo it seems, when hitting the ship, hitting the opponent. And then the secondary, which is defenses are irrelevant, which is a 5% of attack added to the penetration value when firing at armada targets. So if you can get 6 of 10, then maybe in next upcoming days, obviously I'm in the dark as well as you because I am not under no NDT or anything like that. NDAs, sorry. I'm not under any of them because I haven't been told anything, you know what I mean? So I'm just in the dark as well as you. But this, it looks like obviously we're going to have a lot of armada stuff coming up, and this has been very, very good against like the Mega Cube and all the other armada, you know, Borg armadas and stuff that it's going to be running over the next upcoming days. The next video that I'm going to do is going to be related to the next video or the next event sort of phase, so it might not be for a couple of days. So the next phase of the event, if we just quickly go to the board, so the next phase of the event, where are you? Borg Cube phase 1, there we go. So it's split obviously into multiple phases. They took it down. Looks like they have. Okay, well it did explain the different phases of the events. Obviously they're not gonna, we can't see them. No, we just got the FAQs, so you can't see them. But the next phase is to do with armadas, attacking just random Borg armadas. If you didn't know, that I would imagine that these Borg armadas are going to be over in these first systems. So the basically these ones from the this variant into these ones, they're going to be where all your Borg armadas, the initial ones or phase 2 armadas, I would imagine that's where I think they're going to happen. And then obviously then you're going to the phase 3, which is the Mega Cube, which is going to be related to these 3 systems specifically, these level 40 systems. Bearing in mind, you do need the warp range of level 33, so if you don't have your Vidar up to at least tier 4, I think mine is. Yeah, if you don't have it up to tier 4, you don't, and you need this upgraded as well, the warp engine, then you probably won't get there without getting, obviously, or having Scotty on your Vidar. So my recommendations are get the Vidar up to at least tier 4 and get the warp Mark 6 engines, because that will give you the 33 range you need to get to the Mega Cube, and you will need, I would imagine this vessel is going to help substantially just because of its abilities against Borg hostiles. It's just going to be so overpowering, I would imagine. You can't use other vessels, as far as I'm aware. People have been hinting towards other vessels, but that is probably going to be the biggest help you're going to get is from the Vidar itself. Ignore that crew. Forget that's where it's going to lead. I imagine phase 2 is going to be these, and then phase 3 is going to be this. And obviously that's why you've been doing the events. I've been doing mine, but because I moved alliance, I haven't been accruing any alliance milestones, which is a bit bizarre because I moved prior to the event kicking off, and it did say in the FAQs that it wouldn't affect you if you moved prior to the event, but it clearly does because I'm not accruing absolutely anything, which is a bit of a shame really, because I've completed every single daily so far for the last 3 days, so it's a bit of a shame, but that's okay. But yeah, that's my thoughts on what officers to get. I would personally focus on 10 of 10. If you don't already have 7, 1, 9 and 8, if you don't have them 4 already, focus on them 4. And then if you don't, obviously then your 5th one, personally I would go for 10 of 10. And then I would go for 5 and 6. That's my personal choice. Obviously your choice may change and vary to mine, so take it as you will. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section down below and what you think and what officers you think you would go for. Other than that, have a great day. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification to when I go live, and I will see you next time. Bye bye for now.